Now let's talk about the growth mindset. Yes, you can change and learn. So we discussed the growth mindset in an earlier video about talent. So as a reminder, if you believe that your traits are fixed, absolutely, you have a fixed mindset. And if you believe that your traits are flexible, you have a growth mindset. So career change involves trying something new that you might not be great at right away. It involves learning new things. And some people get excited by the idea, even if it makes them nervous. And other people cringe at the idea, not just because it sounds stressful or intimidating, but because they do not really believe that they can change and learn and grow. They may tell themselves, old dogs can't learn new tricks, or this is how I've always done things. Now, obviously, this perspective could lead to a lot of doubt and frustration. Not only would you fear that you would fail, you would be certain of it. You're not capable of changing after all, right? So, as you can see, having a growth mindset is a major advantage when facing changes in your position, in your career, or in your industry. But the good news is that even if you lean towards having a fixed mindset, the growth mindset can be learned. Yes, learned. So, the good news is that you can grow your brain. So everyone knows that when you lift weights repeatedly over time, your muscles grow bigger and get stronger. And when you stop exercising the muscles, they shrink again and they get weaker. And most people don't know, though, that when they practice any sort of activity or learn new information, their brain changes and gets stronger, just like a muscle. So when you repeat a behavior, an action, an emotion, or a thought over and over and over again, the neural pathways in the brain that are responsible for sending the signals become stronger, making the activity easier and easier over time with practice, which is, of course, why we practice. And this is how skills are developed and habits are formed. What's important to know is that for many years, scientists believed that the brain loses its ability to grow and change early in life. But now they have proof that even old brains can change by developing more connections and strengthening those wires I was talking about, leading the brain to literally grow bigger in size and in weight. Brain scans have allowed scientists to see that when people practice playing an instrument, the area of the brain that moves their fingers grows larger. And cab drivers who must memorize vast and detailed geographic data have a much larger hippocampus, which is the area of the brain responsible for memory. So not surprising, right? So how does this apply to changing your career? While there are minor variations between people with innate predispositions, the factor that contributes to a person's level of intelligence or ability at any age is their exposure to information and to experience, and also their willingness to try new things. So that's good news. And what this means is that no matter who you are or how old you are, you can learn and grow within your career. And at the same time, you can consider what ways that you do have highly developed skills and that your brain has been predisposed to be good at certain things, and then find ways to take advantage of these developed abilities. So then how do you develop this growth mindset that I'm talking about? Well, now that you know what a growth mindset is and why it's such an important belief system for changing your career, you can begin to practice this way of thinking. So step one, acknowledge that simply knowing more about how the brain works and that you can in fact learn and grow, just knowing this will shift your openness to change. And then step two, try to catch yourself when you think something from a fixed mindset perspective, which we all do from time to time. Just become aware and notice that you're thinking it. So here are several examples. This is hard. I must not be good at it. Here's another one. If I don't try, I can't fail. And here's a third. It's not my fault. So step three is to shift your self-talk to a growth mindset perspective. So you want to take these thoughts that I just mentioned that you notice yourself thinking and change them. And so here's examples of how to change those initial fixed thoughts that I mentioned into growth mindset ones. So the first one would be instead saying, I'm not good at it yet. If it's hard, I need to put in more effort. If I don't try, I can't succeed because failure is certain. And even if it's not my fault, I always have the power to respond. Step 4, take growth-oriented action. Try something new, like a new food. Notice how it's uncomfortable but exciting. Identify something that you're not good at, like maybe playing video games against your teenager, and do it just for the fun of it. Make a list of the things that you are good at now that you were terrible at when you first started. Make another list of the challenges that you've overcome, or mistakes that you've made, or changes that you have survived in your life or your career, even if they weren't your idea. You see, you've made it through a lot, you've learned a lot, you've grown a lot, and you can continue to do so.